Hello and welcome back. I'm Dr. J, and this is Time is Money, brought to you by TradeMonster.com. And of course, we're going to be at the Invest Like a Monster seminar in New York City. That's March 7th, Saturday, March 7th. If you go to InvestLikeAMonster.com, you can see all about it. You can probably click to it from Option Monster as well. But this is going to be a great conference, folks. It's got myself, Guy Adami, Jeff Mackey, Mark Fisher. We've got all these guys on one stage for one day only. Vince Farrell from Soleil Securities, all these folks in New York City at the Sheraton. That's March 7th. 2009, just over a month from now. Now, here, since time is money, is this week's presentation. Looking around, we've got a big presentation going on in Vail, Colorado. That is the Credit Suisse Energy Conference, and that's going on starting Monday, this next week, February 2nd. Look at BJ Services, BJS, Exelon, EXC, XTO Energy, symbol XTO, that's easy, and Noble, NBL. I'll first highlight BJ Services because it's an $11 stock, so definitely a cheap shot. It has been bouncing basically back and forth from roughly the $11 level back up to 13, back and forth like a pinball, occasionally breaking down to 10. If we get a spot where we can enter at a lower number like that, in other words below 11.18 or so, where it is here on Friday as we're doing Time is Money, we'll use that as an opportunity to get into BJS, BJ Services. XTO Energy trading just below $38 a share. This one also has been trading in a relatively tight band. This case, though, the band is from 30 to 40, and it's up here at 37.80, bouncing back and forth, but falling off a very steep cliff. Looking back in September when this stock was over $58 a share. So again, that is XTO Energy, symbol XTO, and they are going to be presenting out here at the Credit Suisse presentation in Vail, Colorado, so keep an eye on them. We don't have a directional call on this one yet, but since it's more or less into the middle of the range, I would tend to be a seller of a straddle. That is collecting the premium on the call and the put at the 35 strike. That's what I like right now in XTO Energy. Also, Wednesday we have going on in New York City, Cowen and Company Aerospace conference. And so having that conference going on in New York City, we've got Northrop NOC presenting at the conference. We've got ATI and we've got Raytheon RTN, all three presenting at this Cowen conference, New York City, and that is Wednesday next week. Northrop Grumman, if you look at the run, they've made a just take a look here. They've made quite the run, folks, moving from basically 35 up towards almost $50 a share. They gave positive guidance, but given that we've got a Democratic president in place right now, and given that they've got earnings on Tuesday, I believe, next week, I'm a little nervous, a little hesitant to make a bullish trade on this one, and more looking for what kind of guidance they offer us, given that we've got this new administration in there. So again, that is the Cowen Defense and Aerospace Conference, New York City. It is Wednesday and Thursday next week. Come back from the break and I'll have the earnings that I'm watching next week and why. Some big premiums, folks, right after this. All right, now as far as earnings this next week, again, brought to you by our sister company, TradeMonster.com, where you can trade stocks for just $7.50 flat or options for just 50 cents. Well, take a look at this one, Aflac Monday. The stock decimated a week ago. The stock knocked down 34% in a single day by a warning from a Morgan Stanley broker, an analyst, if you will, about their exposure to European credit default swaps. So keep an eye on AFL, Aflac. Like I say, earnings Monday, and we're looking at the strangle in here, whereby we would be in here selling the 20 puts and the 22 calls in Aflac. So we're selling the just out of the money put, and we're selling the just above the market call, and we're collecting a big premium, folks. This one, if we do it in March, it looks like it's almost $7. Come on. So in other words, if I'm collecting a $7 premium for selling that out of the money put and that out of the money call against my stock, stock goes up, stock gets called away, I make $7. Stock goes down, I'm adding to my position because the puts will be forcing stock into my account. So that means that I'll be buying more stock, $7 under 22, which is $15 a share. Like the odds, and I think that the volatility comes out after this one announces its earnings. Also on Monday, Humana, H-U-M, big healthcare company. Take a look at this one. We're looking at the Feb, we're looking at selling a Feb call spread. Selling it, not buying it, selling it. Why would we do that? Well, because the same as buying the put spread, folks. You can either, if you pick the same strike prices, you can either buy the call spread and have the upside, or you can sell the put spread, and that's if you're bullish. In this case, I'm not bullish. I'm thinking that Humana has made a decent little run here, and I want to be short the upside for Humana with limited risk, and therefore I am selling the call spread. I picked the 35-40 call spread in Humana as the one I'd talk about. All right. Spin ahead to Tuesday, and then we do indeed have Northrop Grumman earnings. NOC, the symbol there, makes everything from attack aircraft to some of the big ships like the aircraft carriers and so forth, destroyers. Take a look at NOC earnings Wednesday, or Tuesday rather, for that one. Now, Ralph Lauren. RL is the symbol. That's the last one I'll leave you with. Earnings on Wednesday next week. And RL had a great quarter back in November, the last time they announced, and the revenue was strong, the whole thing. That's before things fell off a cliff and before this Christmas season really kicked in, because again, that was looking back at the September, October timeframe, not looking at the November, December timeframe when, as I say, I think their numbers were pretty stinky. Been in their stores, seen a lot of inventory, think that these guys might be vulnerable. Now, I don't want to be short them for long, though. I do want to be short them for this earnings report, perhaps, but I don't want to be short them for long because at half the price that they were last year, could they be takeover at some price? Sure. So therefore, I want to be in this one, and I want to be in a put vertical. I'm going to be buying the puts at the 40 strike and selling the puts at the 35 strike. I'm doing that in March to give myself a little more time, and all I'm paying for it, folks, is $1.70. That means I pay $1.70, I can make $3.30 if I'm right. That's nearly 200%. If I'm right, I like my odds, and if it is that Ralph Lauren comes out with better earnings or decent guidance, well, then this put spread that I paid $1.74 won't go to zero because it's a March put spread, but I could lose about half my investment on it, and then I would exit the trade. Folks, that's how we set up our week ahead, the first week in February 2009 on Time is Money. Make sure that if you'd like to join us for the March 7th event in New York City, that's at the Sheraton, New York City, March 7th, that is a Saturday. Make sure you sign up early because the one here in Chicago sold out in just 3 weeks. We've got about 5 weeks ahead of this one, so make sure you're not left, coulda, shoulda, woulda. If you want, go to investlikeamonster.com, check out the agenda, check out the speakers, and there is no upselling at our seminars. We're not pushing you into another $2,000 or $5,000 or $10,000 seminar. This is it, $149. You can enjoy all you want that day. Meet all those traders I talked about, Guy Adami, my brother Pete, most of the guys from Fast Money, when you pick all the three of us up there, along with Vince Farrell and one of the biggest energy traders in the world, Mark Fisher. So make sure you join us in New York for March 7th. That's Invest Like a Monster. And remember, time is money.